Is anyone else tired of hearing people always say, I don't have time to do something? Because I guarantee you do. I guarantee you do. So right now, if you don't believe me, get out a piece of paper and a pencil and do this along with me. All right? Yeah, get it out. I'm serious right now. All right? We're going to do this together to show you do. Again, this is something I talked about in my Tackle Life Like Goku video. I picked up from my man, Brandon Carter. It's helped me out a lot. It helps me stay very productive and just like getting stuff done. So again, we're gonna go way more in depth with it than I ever did in that video, so let's break it down, and that's why it's important to have that pen and paper. All right, you have time, all right? There are 168 hours in a week, all right? That's total in a week. So all you have to do right now, on your piece of paper, I want you to write down how many hours a night you sleep. So add it all up. So just the average, right? Because, you know, sometimes people sleep like 5 hours a night, sometimes 8, 7 ideal, stuff like that. So write down all the hours you sleep in a night. So just like, you know, each day. Then we're gonna get the average of work and school. So basically all your big responsibility stuff. Stuff that you're getting paid to do, something that you have to do, like to maintain living, all right? Write that stuff down, like how many hours a week do you do that? Like work, school, etc. All right, and then we're gonna focus on training. How many like hours a week do you train? Like, do you do multiple stuff? Do you play sports? Do you do all this other stuff? Like, you know, write that down as well. Again, the average, 7 days, stuff like that. And then we're gonna go with how much time do you spend with your family, your spouse, or your significant other? Now, again, this depends on what level of life you are currently at, because not everyone's gonna have this sort of thing. If you are a father or a mother or, you know, like just a caretaker of someone, you have to do different things because you have to support your family. If you are a person who is with someone, you're just married or something like that, then you should want to spend time with your, you know, wife, husband, etc., whatever. And if you're someone who has a significant other, you should want to spend time with this person as well if you're trying to build something. This isn't for like just like a, oh, like a booty call type of thing. That's this different thing, you know, work that out with yourself. This is a relationship where you're like, I generally want to build this in like a thing, and we both generally like each other, we're both mutually attracted to each other, we both want to go on. So how many hours a week do you spend with this? And if you're a kid who's like working with the family stuff too, that's fine as well. Just like, you know, see what works for you. But again, we want to add this up. So the average of how much you sleep per week, the average of how much you do work and school per week, the average you train per week, and the average of how much you like spend time with your family, your spouse, your significant other, etc. Now that doesn't mean that you don't hang out with like your friends and stuff like that. We'll get to that later on, but those are like the big staple of people that you should be hanging out with consistently. Now, again, there's like little things, because sometimes people are like, oh, well, what about food? What about like washing? What about like, you know, shower cleaning, all that stuff like that? That doesn't really take that much time. It really doesn't. Like, unless you are like, you know, so slow at like, you know, washing yourself. Like if you have a lot of time in the bathroom or something like that, that's something probably to go to the doctor for. But for the most part, this should be relatively quick. Like it doesn't take that long to make a sandwich or anything, like some stuff like that. Anyways, all right, you got that number, add up all this right here, and then take 168 hours, and then what you want to do is subtract this number right here from 168 hours, and this is how many hours you have left. Now, when I first did this, I was surprised at just how much time I had left, that I realized, oh shit, I am squandering a lot of my time just like, you know, doing a lot of like random BS and stuff like that. Now, again, I want to say this right now, your perception of time changes as you get older. And I think about this all the time now that I'm 34. So when you're like 0 to 18, it feels like you have a lot of time. Now, due to the pandemic blip, it may have changed for some people. But again, when I think back to those times, it's like, yeah, I had a lot of time back in the day. Like, I look back on it now with my 34-year-old brain, I didn't realize it, but no, I had a lot of time. And then like when you're 20 to 25, time starts to move faster, but you still feel like you have a lot of time. And that's the thing about it, like your perception of time will start to speed up as you get older. And then when you're like 25 plus to 29, time starts to move a bit faster. And then when you're 30 plus, years go by faster and faster. Like I again, like it feels like 2023 was yesterday to me. Like 2021 feels like, you know, a few weeks ago at points. And I'm like realizing this the more like time goes on. Like it's like, oh crap, it's August. Like I feel like I blinked and went from January to August so fast. And so that's something to keep an eye on for yourself, because when you're younger, you have higher energy to get the stuff done that you really should be doing. And then when you're you're older, the energy starts to go down a bit naturally. Now, again, if you stay healthy, you stay fit, you have good nutrition, you do your flexibility stuff, you stay consistently training and not do that stuff where it's like frying your central nervous system or tearing your joints down, stuff like that, you will have a lot of energy for a very long period of time, still going on into like your 30s, 40s, etc. And then it'll gradually start to steep down because nothing beats Father Time. But I just want you to know, like, you can still circumvent that. And of course, you can always use black coffee and stuff like that too. But I'm saying this right now. Your perception of time changes just because you had more mitochondria when you were younger, stuff like that. So, time is life, all right? That, like, exactly, Bruce Lee had a great quote, like, if you want to, like, truly live life, don't waste time because that's what life is made out of. And that is the thing. So many of us are just like, you know, we spend how much time scrolling or on our laptops or, like, you know, watching TV or just, like, on, like, you know, vegging out on computers, stuff like that. And the way you can look at this is just look at your screen time. Take a good look at your screen time right now, all right? On your phone, there's a little thing that you can go and check out, like, how many hours do you just spend, like, dead zone, like it, because literally it's so crazy. Your brain will go into like this zone where you're like, oh, damn, I blipped out. Like, what happened? And you've been scrolling for hours on end. Another thing is like, sitting all day, that drains your energy. All these things right here, there's nothing wrong with them in moderation, but if like the majority of the time, like after this, you spend most of your time doing this, you are going to drain so much of your energy that you won't even realize it until it's like too late. So make sure that you are not overdoing it here because this is a very important thing. Now, you don't want to end up like this, where you spent most of your life like doing this stuff right here, just killing time. And then one day you wake up and you're old and it's like, oh crap, oh, I'm getting a visit from Grim. Like, where did the time go? Like, this happens to so many people where it's just like, oh, crap, I just woke up one day and I was like, you know, 54. What am I doing with my life? That happens to a lot of people. I've been observing this sort of stuff where people are talking about this. Like, yeah, I just woke up one day and I was like older and I realized I hadn't done anything. So we can stash that. There's never as long as you are alive, you can always reset. I want to make that perfectly clear. As long as you are alive, you can keep resetting over and over and over again. Do not let other people get in your head thinking that you can't, because you most definitely can. All right, so, and the reason I have Ed, and Eddie here is because I remember there was this episode of Ed, and Eddie where it's one of my favorite episodes where Ed actually, Eddie was, he went to bed and then he woke up and he was an old man. And then like the entire cul-de-sac were old as well. And he was like, what the fuck is going on here? What the hell? And then he's looking around and he's like, oh God, this has to be a dream. This has to be a dream. And then he goes to sleep. He wakes up and he's young and it's like, oh God, thank God that was a dream. But then he goes to sleep again and he wakes up and he's old. And that, low-key, that always effed with me because that is something that's going to happen to all of us one day. It's just going to be a thing where like one day we go to sleep and then we wake up and it's like, I'm like older, I can't do the things as easily as I used to do when I was younger, and I didn't set up a lot of things in time so that I could get the stuff done that I really needed to, that I wanted to, that I know would benefit my life and give me like, you know, ease of access in my elder years and stuff like that. So you have to make sure that you are taking the time to actually go like, no, I don't want to fall into this hypnotic loop and fall into this. Like, it's something so prevalent because so many of us, we are addicted to like the pleasures of this world. And again, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we live in a world of convenience, all right? Everything that you want to like answer, people have ChatGPT to the point that they are like losing their actual brain power. If you want to, you know, get food, you can DoorDash it any time of day. If you want to, you know, like anything, like really like Amazon it, you want to like, you know, pick something up. There's just so many conveniences that are good in a sense, but they're also like taking away some stuff from humans that are gonna make us act like we're WALL-E characters. You know what I mean? Like that scene in WALL-E where the characters are all just like, you know, the human characters are all just out of shape now and they're all just living on convenience and all that stuff. So that's something to very much keep an eye on. All right. So little things to do. that can make you immediately have a lot more time. One, go on Google Calendar. You can get this app immediately. All you do is go to your Google Calendar app and literally track every hour of your day. So from when you wake up to when you go to bed. So if you wake up at like 7 and you go to bed at midnight, all right, see every hour, like how many hours are you actually like doing stuff that's beneficial? How many hours are you just sort of like bullshitting? You're scrolling, you're playing video games, you're like gooning or whatever. I don't care. Like again, there's nothing wrong with stuff in moderation. The problem is a lot of people, especially these days, have addictive personalities where they will overdo things. They'll overdo all this stuff and then it holds them back and then they get miserable and wonder like, why am I not going anywhere in life? You have the ability, you have the potential, you just have to see what you want to do with these hours. Like something that I started noticing too is I started doing this stuff where I like logged off social media. I logged off like just the internet and I focused on doing things that we used to do back in like the 90s and early 2000s where it's like, oh, I've been drawing a lot more recently. Like here's my art book. Like I've been like logging like various pictures I've just been drawing just because I'm not necessarily good at it. I'm trying. It's just one of those things I thought was fun. And I was like, you know what? I want to just keep improving piece by piece. And this is a thing that I find like, oh, I can just sketch these and I can always see if I can improve here or there. And I thought it was fun. I thought it's a fun thing to try, but it also is just like, I feel very invigorated because it's like, even if it's not like, you know, a masterpiece or perfect, I can still go, oh, I worked on this, I did this, and now it's like something I can hang up or give to a friend or something like that if I really want to, or just keep it in my scrapbook and just see like, oh, the progression of skills and stuff like that if I really want to like maintain it. But there's so many things like that for you. You have so much time, just do not waste it. Like that is the thing, like really take a look at your screen time, take a look at how many hours you have, take a look at how much time you are like just straight up wasting. Because here's the thing, I know a lot of people are gonna watch this and be like, yeah, that's cool. Anyways, I'm just gonna, you know, go back to doing what I do. So those people, again, sympathy to those people, but they are in their world, all right? Don't focus on them, focus on you, all right? I heard a quote from David Goggins, I believe, where he said like, it's a lot easier to stand out these days because people are becoming so cushioned. They're becoming so used to this like world of like, you know, safety nets and all this other stuff that they just sort of like let themselves get lazy. They let themselves just go like, I don't need to think. I don't need to do all this other stuff. They just focus on this. Focus on what you can do and then you can start to improve in so many metrics that make you stand out. It's sort of like, you know, it's the difference between like, I say all the time, the Ginyu Force where they like Frieza soldiers where they're like, you know, flexing like, oh, I'm badass, I'm so strong. And then when someone who actually is strong and badass, they come in face to face with, they're like, oh shit, I guess I ain't all that much because I didn't put my time and effort into that. All right. So for them, they can't have that choice, but if that's them, they just want to go, I guess, that's just not me. I'm just gonna be this way. That's my life. Then they've made their choice. That's not you though. If you want to really stick out and go like, no, I want to improve myself. I want to make beneficial stuff. Because it's not just a thing of saying, my life is nothing. It's not just a thing of going like, oh yeah, I want to improve and be like, you know, a great changer for the world or something like that. It's a thing for you to say, hey, no, I can do a bunch of things and I actually start to feel better from these things. Like physically, you start to feel better. You start to move better. You start to like have all this extra stuff where you're like, I can do this. I can accomplish all the things I'm putting my mind to, even if it takes a lot of hard work and grind. And that's something that a lot of people are steadily starting to lose. Like even like bodybuilding wise, like not like dissing anyone or anything like that, but so many people, I was watching this video the other day where so many of these teenagers were taking like trend and gear and all this stuff. And it's like, why? You are so young. All right. Use your like natural stuff. Like you don't have to look like a freaking action figure. And for a lot of people, it's like, oh, I'm doing this because I want to be impressive, but I also kind of want to get girls. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have seen women pick dudes built like Harry Styles and JaxBlade over dudes built like Jeff Seed because they have personality, they have more stuff going on with them, they're charming, they're funny, they're witty, all this other stuff. Like muscles is a bonus buff, it's not a magnet. So just remember that going forward. But I want to say this again, you have so much time. You have so much time. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. And if you don't have other time, like you don't know what to do with your time, again, I have entire playlists you can check out here, that'll help you to do it. Like for example, if you're trying to get into working out, I have stuff that you can do that's very short on time. If you're like people who want to like try out new things, new workouts, new experiments, all that stuff, I have tons of stuff right here. Check out my Tough Tunes playlist. But I just want to say that to you. If you made it this far in the video, type hyperbolic timekeeper because you got time and you're gonna do it. But I just wanted to do this video because I want to help out a lot of people. But remember, like I always say, keep calm, booyah on, and don't forget, Momentai. Hope you have a great day.